What's up, Blazers? It is I, Hope Giselle, and this episode is brought to you by Audible.com, an Amazon company. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/Blaze Entertainment, or visit sponsor and supporter links on our website at intotheblaze.com. With over 180,000 titles to choose from, your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Now, let's start the show.
You're locked in to the hottest station on the
Hey, Blazers, it is I, Hope Skies, and we are back at you with another episode of After the Blaze, featuring my partner in crime, the only person I can do this with, the only person that can keep me in check and still make me feel like a bad bitch at the same time. Yeah. Miss Shades of Ghey. How you doing, boo?
Child, I'm not even going to get on the State of Their Union that's on every fucking channel, including the Animal Channel, which, you know, I found appropriate because y'all's president does look like a fucking orangutan. So, but, you know, other than that, I am, you know, living life, you know, living the life that's pleasing to me. How are you?
I'm great. You know, I randomly picked up and moved to New York or LA or New York or LA.
I was going to say, wait a minute, bitch. You lying. Somebody, somewhere along the line, somebody lied.
No, but I'm honestly doing so much crap, I forgot where I moved. But no, I moved to the West Coast. All the After the Blazers that actually give a shit about us.
Bitch, you left me. You left me, ho.
Look, I did.
On the East Coast.
It was a very much needed move. It was a much needed move, okay?
Well, I support you nonetheless.
I know you do. All you bitches better support me, okay? Because that was a hard-ass move to make for the kids.
Ooh, bitch, you moved to the other side of the United States of America, honey.
The whole other side of the United States of America, and bitch, next year it might be Shanghai. Just, you know, wait around.
Come through, bitch. International D's, honey.
So
I'm here for it.
We only have a couple things on the roster this week, but they are some heavy hitter things. So before we get into the shade of it all, I have to give a Black Girl Magic shout out, okay, to Miss Marseille, okay, Martin. Old girl is from the Blackish franchise, now Grownish franchise, kind of deal. And Lil Mama at 13 years old is set to star and produce in her own movie at 13 years old. Okay, a black girl. Girl. I want you guys to understand the magnitude of this black girl magic that has been popping up through her melanin right now, and understand that Hope Giselle is so proud of this woman here. The movie is going to be called Little. It's set to be a comedy. They don't necessarily have like an original release date, but shouts out to you, Miss Martin, Lil Mama, make your mark out here.
That is a legendarily iconic. Yes, I made that fucking word up. That is legendarily iconic. It's 13 years old and you are already a fucking movie producer, bitch.
Movie producer, bitch.
That means that bitch was thinking about. Let me not call her no bitch. That means she was thinking about producing movies whenever she was in the fucking womb, bitch. Before her heart even started beating, bitch. 13. Just 13. Just imagine what this bitch is gonna be doing at 26.
Bitch,
what was she doing at 13, girl?
Still trying to tell my mama I was straight. That's what I was doing.
Yes. Living in a truth that wasn't your truth.
That wasn't mine. That wasn't even mine. And here she is busting through doors with her truth page, making motherfucking records. Nobody will ever be able to read her. So long as she lives, nobody will ever be able to read her, because the comeback is always going to be, bitch, at 13 years old, I produced and starred in my own film. What were you doing?
Gag, bitch. Sitting around licking your fingers full of Cheeto dust. That's what she was doing at 13.
Sipping on a cool pop in front of the local corner store, bitch.
Yeah, right. Trying to chase down the ice cream truck.
I can't. So
I'm here for it. That's melanin magic, bitch.
I'm all for it. So shout out to you, Miss Martin. We love it. We are all
Yes,
here for
guys.
it.
Keep it up.
You know, now I got to move on to the things that we're not here for. Okay? Because
Oh, child. I don't even think I'm here for it.
everybody knows the skies loves her makeup. And I love a good brush. I love a good concealer. I love a good primer. If you got the right shades, I love a good foundation. I'm all about the makeup, right? And I used to work for this company, so I can agree and attest to these things being somewhat true. But Ulta Ulta has gotten caught trying it. They have got caught by old employees who have confirmed and said that Ulta resells and repackages things in this particular location. The particular location hasn't necessarily been disclosed. I've been looking for it, and either I wasn't able to find it, or the young lady just didn't disclose her location. However, she says that she was advised by management, to repackage and resell. Now, I'm going to agree with Free on this and Kwame as well. That's just nasty.
That's nasty and tacky. That's nasty and tacky.
That is so. My thing is, hair care products, I can see if somebody brings in like a spray nozzle and it's broken and you fix it and you put that back on the shelf.
Right.
But for you to put an eyeliner back out, for you to put an eyeshadow palette back out, for you to reshave a lipstick and put that back out, that is disgusting.
Bitch, you don't even know how clean or nasty the bitch who used it prior to you repackaging it. You don't know how nasty they were. That calls for like cross contamination and shit. Like, that's disgusting. I don't even wear makeup yet, but bitch, I would never step foot in Ulta. That's oh my God. I'm going to throw up every glass of wine that I drank today.
But that to me was really disgusting, like finding out and reading that story, because there were things in my store, like I said, that we did have, like, we had little things like that when I worked for Ulta, where if, somebody brought in, a spray can and they were like, oh, my sprayer didn't work, we would just take it back. And if you could fix it, and it was operational again, we would put things like that back on the shelf.
Right.
Because those are things where obviously she couldn't spray it anyway. So, you just wipe it down, make sure that you do sanitize the bottle, the handle, because you never know, like if she threw it in her trunk and it fell in something or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But to return something like a mascara that somebody uses on their eye, people have eye infections and pink eye and all types of, like, those things should be thrown in the trash. Or
that's almost like, go ahead.
Or used at your own risk if you're an employee and you decide that you just want to go there. Because we had some of those girls that would be like, oh, I'll take it, because it was a brand new virtual product. But I'm like, girl, you don't know the conditions that it's been in since it's left this store.
Right.
So, but other than that, I think that they should always be trash. They should always
that's almost like up there with, bitch, that's almost like Target taking back a pack of underwear that somebody brought back because they were too big, and bitch, you repackaged them. Like, bitch, you don't know if this bitch had a whole yeast infection or fucking scabies, and you repackaging this shit and expecting somebody else to buy it, and you don't. Oh my God! Somebody needs to call the what is it? Not the FDA. What department? What department they need to call?
Look here,
the health department, bitch.
I don't even know myself, but somebody needs to call HR as well, because if they were being forced to repackage things like the young lady said, that's also very tacky. I feel bad for everybody who's at that location, because eventually what's going to happen is that story is going to get out and that location is going to cost somebody their job, and I feel really bad for the ladies at that location, but y'all know better, so do better. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know better, so do better. And that's just going to be my commentary on that one. When you know better, you do better, you act better.
When you know better, you do better.
You get better results. Point blank, period. Now, speaking of people that know better and do better, I'm going to give a whole shout out to Questlove and NBC for doing better, because they knew better, okay? I don't give a shit. And let me say this once more for the people all the way in the back. I don't give a whole shit, okay, if it comes off as racial or if you feel some type of way, but I love it when celebrities catch motherfuckers doing shit and they see through it personally, that they have to stand up for the fact that they did some fucked up shit. I love it. So these 3 NBC workers, okay, were caught in a group text. One of them happened to be a black individual, and the black individual promptly did not respond to the text, i.e., probably to keep their job. Even though I'm sure that there was a couple of choice words they wanted to use. But the two white counterparts engaged in what was not assumed, but was very blatantly, racial slurs towards some of the black talent that was coming into the, I believe it was the Tonight Show that week. This information got back to Questlove, the Roots lead singer, and he saw to it that they were fired. These two employees then decided to file a lawsuit against both him and NBC, claiming racial injustice because the black counterpart was not fired. First and foremost, bitch, hardy har,
Right.
cry me a river and burn that bitch.
Right.
Secondly, even though it seemed some type of way, the black person involved in this situation said nothing. So therefore, they technically were only involved in this by default because they received the message. You two actually had a racially unjust conversation and thought that it was funny and proceeded to do this on a professional line. You guys are talking about your job with the phones that your jobs probably pay for on job time with another employee who is also black about black people. How dare you try to frame racial inequality when you were being racist at the time?
Blatantly racist.
What you got on this? Because I can't. I just can't.
I'm gonna just call bullshit. And like you said, when you know better, you do better. Those two motherfuckers who were having the racially charged conversation via text message, had they known better, they would have done better. So now they're suffering the consequences. Bitch, maybe you will think not twice, but maybe you'll think 3 times before you do some fuck shit like that. And then you're discussing things within, concerns that you have within the organization that pays your fucking bills. Girl.
Bye. Have several seats.
Sick of it.
Have several seats.
Sick of it.
Have several seats and then some. And you guys really have the nerve to say you were fired because you were white. No, you were fired because you were racist. You know how many white bitches stomping around NBC right now? You weren't fired because you were white. You were fired because you were being racist. Goodbye and good fucking night. But
how many black people do you think have been wrongfully fired?
Exactly. For speaking their mind about something that was absolutely correct to speak their mind about.
Exactly.
That's the gag. And then they
love crying wolf. That's the most upsetting thing.
You get fired for doing something that you deserve to get fired for, and you and your feelings. But it is what it is, and I'm just happy that Questlove saw to it as a talent and a black person to make sure that not only were they just reprimanded, but actually fired. Because too oftentimes we have issues like that, and we see things like this, and we let people tell us, "Oh, we handled it," or we're gonna talk to them. No, but I want to see them leave. I want to see them pack their things and go. And so kudos to you, Questlove, for making sure that happened. Thank you, NBC, for being on the right side of history this time. And on to the next person who's on the wrong side of history this time. And honestly, should be erased in history books. He really should be erased from the history books. Outside of his one little whack ass single, which I haven't heard in forever, not even on the hits and oldies station, bitch. Mr. J. Holiday.
Girl.
Sir.
Listen, I haven't heard anything from her since 2007 when she was singing about that box spring mattress that was laying on the floor ridden with fucking bed bugs. Like, bitch, how dare you come for the queen? How dare you? How? Knowing the caliber of individual that you are and the amount of awards and accolades that you don't have, how dare you even fix your project window peep having ass mouth to say some shit like that? I just cannot. I cannot. Tell the girls what he had to say, girl. I just can't. Like every time I see a story about that, I just get upset. Like, and I look through his pictures. I'm like, "Bitch, back then you was fine. So if you would have pulled that shit back then maybe you would have had some fucking leverage. But looking the way you're looking right now in this present day and time, you don't have the room to say shit. What you need to be doing is if you do still have the ability to carry a tune, you need to see if you can get signed to Parkwood Entertainment. So Miss Beyonce can bring you some relevance because clearly you're lying in the bed of irrelevance right now. You're just so fucking thirsty to be in the forefront. I cannot.
First of all, I need to let Jay Holiday know that Beyonce is not the one. SZA is
or
not
the two.
Okay. Cardi is not even a part of this thing, and you want to throw her in there because she was popping. And the shit that bothers me is that this has male, misogynistic, I've had my ego broken one too many times written all over it. Okay? I'm really over these black men feeling like the way out of their oppression is to target and blame black women. That to me is so redundant, retarded, and overused, and it needs to be retired. I've never understood why when everything goes down and everything goes wrong for black men, it's always, Oprah's speech was problematic for black men, or Beyonce getting up there and making lemonade was problematic for black men, or SZA getting up there and saying that she can be the girl on the weekend is problematic for black love. Why is it always black women under the attack by black men when they get their nuts kicked in by a white bitch? That doesn't make sense to me. When a whole bunch of white people go and whoop your ass, you come back to the crib and blame Keisha for it. Like she was the one out there beating on you. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me, black men. And I'm going to need y'all to stop that shit. I'm going to really need you guys to collect yourself. Stop that shit. Allow yourselves to, one, either take blame for being insufficient, Jay Holiday, because you have been insufficient with your music. Your music has not popped. You've let yourself go. Your body look a hot ass mess. Like you've been snorting coke for the last 8 years. You have not put out anything other than those kids that you got, and they're blessings from God. But Lord knows you should have used the rubber. Like, if this is the type of career that you want to go into, then you have to be consistent, honey bun. And the problem with you is not that your music sucked or your voice went out. The problem with you is that you had one single, you rode that one single, and you thought that was going to be your gravy boat. And now the gravy is a little dry and sticky at the bottom of the pot, and you scraping. And you trying to blame black women for the fact that you scraping. Beyonce has been kicking doors down since Crazy in Love, bitch. That is what we call work. That is what we call work. Cardi B has been trying to hop on every track, hers, a feature, whatever she can get since that motherfucking song popped back 6 months ago. SZA has been trying to get every endorsement that she can get since she's come out 4 years ago. Little do people know, SZA has been popping and grinding for 4 years. The bitch was just fat, and nobody didn't want to put her on until she lost weight. And then she lost the weight because they wanted her to do, and now she's popping, and she's taking that popping and turning it into a coin. If you want to be popping again, sir, give us another banger like you did with Bed, lose that weight, get fine again, get you somebody to braid your hair up in the hood, and come back.
Go to the dentist. Yeah, go to the dentist first. The orthodontist.
And the dermatologist, bitch, and the whole dermatologist. The whole face just looks like throw it away. Just throw it away. The entire face just looks like throw it away.
That has struck a nerve. That has struck a nerve. It really did.
An entire
struck a nerve.
I can't. And so, you know, it sounds like he's pressed. It sounds like he's mad. It sounds like he's upset. It sounds like he's sad. But you know what? He gives a fuck because you are nobody. And it sounds like you ain't making no music, honey. So your word is not. You making every sound except the hit. You making every sound except the hit. So I'm gonna need.
His career or the lack thereof is ended because you know every time somebody comes for Beyonce, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, their career ends. So yeah.
Because you do not fuck with the industry voice. I mean, and that's just point blank, period. You do not fuck with the industry voice. You can shade her alone. You can talk to your mama about her, but bitch, don't you ever make a public statement about Beyonce and let it get back to her ears. Because I promise you that if you ever want to get out of the music business, that's how you do it. All y'all motherfuckers like, oh, I'm so done with fame. I don't want this anymore. Say something about Beyonce. I promise you, you don't ever have to work so fast. You want to get out of the industry, bitch, no matter what industry you in. But you could be a Victoria's Secret model and you could say, I'm sick of not eating. All you got to do is walk down the runway and say, Beyonce didn't slay. But I promise you, you will never strut again. You will never walk again in the industry so long as you have ever lived. Like, but I'm sick of the hate, and I'm really sick of black men using black women as ploys to get out of bullshit. And Jay Holiday, you're a sad excuse. You're a sad excuse. You blaming somebody, or you're blaming women that are genuinely out here hustling and grinding for their shit for you just being lazy. You know what I'm saying? It would be a difference if I felt like I was seeing him grinding, like if he was on the Shade Room and stuff like this 4 months before that, releasing singles, releasing mixtapes even. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were out here doing your K Michelle, like really putting yourself out here and touring and going all these places with your little albums and things, I might feel bad for you, but I don't feel bad for you because there's no music for you to even be nominated, homie. So get over yourself, baby. Just let it go.
Whew, child. Next topic.
Well, actually, I think I am. I did have a little thing that I wanted to vent about, but it's not necessarily a negative. It's not necessarily a negative vent. It is just an observation that I wanted to make, and I wanted to give her kudos for doing so. Laverne Cox went back, not to her hometown. I think, well, actually, no, she went back to, well, not her hometown, but her home state of Alabama. She visited Selma, Alabama, yesterday, and today she should be on her way back to LA this evening. But she went there to shoot some special, secret projects or whatever. But I will say I've given her flat in the past for not going back home. Just because, I felt like she was doing the I'm above it now kind of deal thing. And granted, she still didn't go back to Mobile, even though she was right there in Selma. She still didn't go back to Mobile. But I feel like, that was kind of like one of those moments for me where I looked up and I was like, oh, she went to Alabama. That's cute. That's a stride. And, I gave her kudos. So kudos to you, Laverne, for slowly but surely getting on your train. Because the only train I was riding so far was just her fashion train, because I had jumped off of her ass for a second. So kudos to you for giving those points back to yourself, because I feel like, she was holding on and harboring like most of us do. But, I feel like there are girls especially because I went to school in Alabama, there are girls in Mobile who need her, and need her to come and bestow some guidance without a coin being attached to it. And I felt like this was low key like a step to see that she was even willing to go and take the project on. Was a step for her. So kudos to you, boo. And that's my event for the.
Come through, Laverne. I'm here for it. I don't have a vent. I'm trying to keep my blood pressure down, and whenever I vent, it increases my blood pressure. So I'm trying to be more health conscious this year. So I want to make sure that I keep my blood pressure at a level that is, healthy for me. So I don't have a vent this week. Maybe next week, I'll make sure I take my garlic pills before I, we get on to record to kind of,
off of this recording. You know what? Thank you so much, Blazers, for tuning in this week to another episode of After the Blaze. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. Please send in those listen letters, because we really miss being able to talk back and forth with you bitches. Yes. If y'all don't like that, send us some hate mail. Send us whatever y'all got. We all.
You better be careful what you ask for.
Look, I wish the bitch would, because they will get roasted. That's what you don't know. But anyway, that's what they don't know. So I mean, send hate mail at your own leisure, bitch. Just remember, we not the one or the two. Right playing, wrong bitch. But anyway, so we love you guys, and please be sure to check out our ever so gracious big sister show, The Blaze, with Miss Free and Mr. Kwame. And be sure to tune into this episode as well as old episodes at entertheblaze.com. And we will see you guys on a later date. We love y'all. Peace.
Hope is enter the blaze, not the blaze.
No, I said entertheblaze.com. And when they run the playback,
the blaze.
No, I definitely said entertheblaze.com. And when Kwame runs this playback, he is going to for sure be cracking the fuck up because he's going to be like, no, you tried to get together. And she definitely said the right thing. Okay? Anyway,
Okay.
like I have for said, for all the blazers one more time, please visit entertheblaze.com for this week's episode as well as past episodes featuring me and Miss Free and Kwame and 50. And until next time, we will see you later.
Ciao, Bella.